नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम रब्बी यस्सिर व ला तुअस्सिर व तम्मिम बिल खैर अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So alhamdulillah, once again we are continuing our journey and we are on verse number 28 of Surah Al-Baqarah. And it's a very simple verse in a sense that, I mean, from the grammatical perspective. So let's take a quick look at the meanings and word for word meaning, and then inshallah we will jump into the grammar. So a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Kaifa. Kaifa is how. You know how you say kaifa haluk? How are you?
Yeah.
So it's a question mark. It's like a question word. So kaifa. Takfuruna. Takfuruna mean how can you disbelieve? Basically, it's a question. Because in the previous verses, we have been, if you put everything together, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking a question. He's saying, how can you disbelieve billahi, in Allah? Why? While you were dead. Wakuntum is, it is the kana yakunu and with the attached pronoun tum. While you were amwatan. Amwatan is a noun.
Yeah.
Noun. Why is it a noun? Because it has the tanween.
Tanween.
So while you were dead, and then what did he do? Fa'ahyakum. He gave you life. Right? So how can you disbelieve in Allah? The Allah who, when you were dead, he gave you life. Summa yumitukum, then he will cause you to die. Right? Then he's gonna summa, then summa mean then yuhyikum. That means he will give you life. Summa ilayhi turja'un, and then to him you will return. Okay. So that's one verse. So today, time permitting, if we have time, then we'll also look at the verse number 29. But let's look at verse number 28. Okay. So before I get into the grammar, maybe we can do a little bit interactive stuff today. So I give away kaifa. Kaifa is a interrogative noun, right?
Yeah.
It is a interrogative. Now, what is takfuruna? Brother Kabir, how would you dissect takfuruna for me? What information can you give me?
It's a fail muzare.
Fail mudare. Okay, good. What person is it?
It's a plural, second person.
Second person, plural. So what is the zamir? What is the pronoun?
Corona. Hua. You.
So what is the zamir?
Tum.
Tum. Antum, right?
Antum, yeah. Kuntum, yeah, antum.
Kuntum, right? So takfuruna. So you are telling me that this is fi'l mudari and it is second person and it is plural and it is masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Masculine.
So what else can you tell me about takfuruna? How would you analyze it grammatically? What two components we have in there? What is it? Is it a verbal sentence by itself?
Yeah, verbal sentence.
Okay.
So file and
file
and fail.
Fail and file. Okay.
Fail and file. Yeah.
So takfuruna, you disbelieve. Is it in the present tense or in the future tense?
Future tense.
Present.
Present. Because mudare is both present and future, correct?
Yeah.
So brother Taj, what is billahi?
That is billahi.
With pass.
So there is a letter ba in there, right?
Yeah.
And Allah is Allah, right? So billahi. Now, why Allah is in kasra or jar? Brother Javed?
Yeah, B is a harfijar.
Harfijar, mashallah, that's good. So Allah is a noun. So when you combine the jar with the noun, what happened to the noun?
It declined.
Majroor. Jar majroor.
Majroor.
It becomes majroor, meaning it goes into the status of jar. So billahi is jar majroor. Yes?
Yeah.
So in a verbal sentence, how many components we have? We have the verb, yes. And we have the file, yes. So the minimum in a verbal sentence, what do we need? We need a verb, we need a fail and a file, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So takfuruna has the verb and the file, which is antum. So billahi, what else could be, what is the jar majroor mostly? What is normally jar majroor? What do we call it? There is a word for it.
Murakkab jari.
Murakkab jari, that's right. But there is a
Maf'ul bihi. Maf'ul bihi.
maf'ul bihi, but in word category, there is another word for it. It starts with meme.
Mutalik.
Mutalik. Yes. So when you have mutalik, that can be taken as a substitute maf'ul, right?
Okay.
Okay. So kaifa takfuruna billahi. So there is a fi'l mudari, but a question in the form of a question. Yes. So inshallah, if you look at this information now, so kaifa is the interrogative noun, right? Meaning is how. Takfuruna is the fi'l mudari. That means it is a verb and the file is in there because of the una sound. That means it's a plural and it's a second person. If it was a third person, then this ta will be yakfuruna. Yes. And billahi is jar majroor. So that becomes mutalik. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Brother Abid, this can, in translation, is just someone put by themselves with for continuity, or where the can is coming. Like, how can you believe? Like
because if you remember a long time ago, we had a lecture where we said that there are certain things in Arabic language, when you translate into English, you have to add few things to it to make it clear. Yeah. And similarly, certain things are translated and certain things are not translated. So this is a helping word to show, because you are saying, how can you disbelieve? Like that's a question, right? So if we continue from here, so the verse does not end here. This is just one part of the question. He's saying, how can you disbelieve in Allah? And then then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling, while you were dead, and then he gave you life, basically. So he's explaining that how can you disbelieve in him when you were dead and I gave you life, right? So it's like a question and sort of giving a situation. Okay, so let's look at the next one and then we'll come back to this. So takfuruna, the same thing. We starting what? Wa kuntum. So wa kuntum is, what is kuntum? Brother Fawad? Brother Fawad, are you there? I thought I saw him. Oh, no, he's not there. Okay, Brother Altaf, where is the kuntum coming from?
kuntum, and tum is you in this case, and kun is a word from kana.
Kana yakunu, right?
Yakunu.
And what do we know about kana yakunu? There is a name for, they are haruf mushabba
Yeah. Haruf mushabba.
fail.
Yeah.
Haruf mushabba bil fail. That means they are haruf which are resembling a verb. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have a specific name also. They call fele naqis. They're known as fele naqis.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if we go back here, then we know that the pronoun here is antum. Yes.
Yeah.
So that is the ismukana because that's the mubtada. Antum was the mubtada.
Mubtada.
So we don't call it mubtada anymore when there is kana yakunu with it, right?
Yeah.
So that becomes ismukana. So what is the khabar of that? Amwatan.
What?
Now khabar is usually nasab, right?
Right.
So amwatan is dead, meaning it's a noun, and it's the status of nasab.
Nasab.
So,
So if it was not
yeah.
in nasab, it will be amwatun, right?
If it was rafa, it will be amwatun. Yes.
Rafamat.
So nasab is amwatan. So that is why if you don't have kuntum here, then it will become mubtada and khabar. But when you have kana yakunu in the beginning of the sentence, then it takes over the ownership of the sentence, and mubtada become ismu kana and khabar become khabaru kana. Yeah.
Right.
So fa'ahyakum. So here we have in the one word fa'ahyakum. Actually, fa is the harf ataf.
Yeah.
Yes. Fa, wow, these kind of huruf are ataf. So what you were dead and he gave you life. Ahya is he gave you life. Yes.
Is aya is fele amr or
Ahya is the fi'l madi. He
Fi'l
gave
madi.
you life. Where is the you
Ahya.
coming from? Yeah, ahya, like fataha, ahya. Now, where is the you coming from? From the kum.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
Zamir
Yes.
Muttasil.
So you can tell me that ahya is the verb. The file is huwa. Who is giving you life? Allah.
Allah.
Because in the first siga or the first pattern of fi'l madi, we have fataha, for example.
So
So if you
huwa
put,
is there.
so huwa is the file. But then who is the maf'ul? You all.
Kum.
You all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this becomes a verbal sentence towards takfurun as the hal. Hal is what? Condition. Yeah. Remember in the past, we have talked about the hal, that if I say Zaid came in the room laughing. So what was his condition? He was laughing.
Laughing.
Yes. So if you think about this word or this sentence for a second, you will realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving them the condition of theirs, that they were dead, then he made them live. Isn't that telling what the status or what condition they were in?
Right.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
So that's why you see the word hal, because it's explaining their condition. كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم. Right? So then, if you look at the next one, so far so good. Everybody,
Good of you.
Taj, you're good with this? Okay. So then if you look at the next one, so then summa is also called conjunction because it's kind of connecting these words. It's like if then else, right? So then they were dead, he gave them life, then he will cause them to die again, right?
Yeah.
وَيُمِيتُكُمْ. So yumitu, he gives you, he will cause you to die. Where is the kum coming from? The you. Yeah, the you is coming from the kum. And what is the zamir in yumitukum?
You.
No. Huwa, right?
Yeah.
Who will cause you to die? He is who? Allah. We are referencing Allah in the third person here, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So the yumitukum, the file is huwa, maful bihi is kum, and yumitu is fi'l mudari, right?
Yeah.
Because of the ya. Okay. Summa yuhyikum. Again, yuhyikum, he will give you life. What is the file? Huwa.
Okay.
Maful bihi is kum. Right? Now, how many people remember about file and maf'ul. A file in a verbal sentence can be of two kinds. Whether it can be in the form of a pronoun or it can be a visible file. Meaning, if I can use Zaid as a file, or I can use word he. Yes,
yeah.
He left or Zaid left. Making sense? The same sentence. In the second sentence, when I say Zaid left, the file is visible. He is not the pronoun, he's the actual noun. Yes? Are you guys with me?
Is it ism ishara or?
No. Remember, when you have a file of a verb, the file could be in two types. One, in the type of a pronoun. When I say Zahaba, what does that mean?
He
left.
Hova.
Or he went, right?
Yeah.
So huwa is the file. Now huwa is a pronoun or a noun?
Pronoun.
Pronoun is a zamir. So, and zamair in the file are hidden.
Okay.
Right? When you say zahaba, you don't see huwa in there, but you know that huwa is hidden in there, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to bring your memory back, that when you say yumitu, that means he will cause. So the zamir is in the huwa. Huwa is the zamir and it's a hidden pronoun. But if I say yumitullahu, who is the file now? Allah will cause you to die. Yes. Because now the zamir is no longer used. The actual file is the visible file is used. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And when we have a visible file, what sigas can we use? 1 or 4. Why? 1 for male and 4 for female. And if the file is hidden or it's a zamir, then we have 14 variations. Yes. He, both of them, all of them, you, both of you, all of you, I, both of us, and all of us. That's the male. And you have the similar for female. Yeah. So similarly, so when you have a file, and we know another thing about file, that the file has to be a rafa. Yes. So is huwa from the chart of rafa pronouns?
Right.
In other words, the detached pronouns. The detached pronouns are the rafa pronouns. Agree?
Yeah.
Similarly, the maf'ul is supposed to be nasab. Yes? Maf'ul, the object is in the status of nasab. When you have a nasab, and if you're using a zamir, then the zamair of nasab and jar are ka, kuma, kum, hu, huwa, hum. Remember those?
Yeah.
So that's why the kum here is the maf'ul. The maf'ul can also be visible, or it could be in the kind of pronoun. Yes. So this yumitukum is one verbal sentence by itself, containing the verb, the file, and the maf'ul.
And the maf'ul. Yeah.
Yes. Same thing with yuhyikum. It has all three components. It has the verb, it has the file, and it has the maf'ul. And in these kind of words, both the file and the maf'ul are in the status of pronoun, in the kind of type of pronoun. It's the pronoun sort of file, right? Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So summa is basically the conjunction. Yes. Okay. Who else is here? Brother Abrar, mashallah, he joined recently. Okay.
Sorry, I'm late. I'm sorry, I'm late.
Not a problem. Okay. So he will cause you to die, and then he will give you life. Yes. And then let's look at the next one. Then we're continuing from yuhyikum, because Allah is the one and who's going to give you life. And then what will happen? Summa ilayhi turja'un. And turja'un is what kind of verb?
Muzari, second person.
Second person, and it's a plural. Yes.
Yeah.
Now you see the word tur instead of tar, turja'un, meaning it is a passive voice. Remember?
Okay.
So
Okay.
you look at the translation. You will be returned to him.
Okay.
You return will be active voice.
You will be returned. Yeah.
Right? Or you will return, that will be active voice. You will be returned, that will be passive voice. Yeah. So that's why the order is also changed. So in turja'un, there is a verb, but the file is known as naib file. Yes. Now ilayhi is the harf jar and a pronoun.
He.
Now with prepositions, the noun attached to it is supposed to be status of jar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what kind of pronoun you're going to use? The one from the table of nasab and jar. So you will use the he. And why basically is the who, right? Huwa is the detached pronoun, right? And what is the attached pronoun? Who. Just the word who, right? And why there is a kasra under the he? Why is not who? Because of the ya. Because of the ya also. There is majroor. And second thing is there is a ya. Ilayhi has a ya in it. Whenever there is a ya, then you have to put
Ila itself is
ilayhi. It is. Yes. Yeah. But the who, the word who is a pronoun of nasab and jar. Yes. Yeah. So technically you could put who here, right? Okay. Right. But the reason you're putting he is because of the ya. This is one of the rules we went over a long time ago. Yeah. Okay. So you can see this ilayhi is jar majroor, so it's called muta'alliq. In muta'alliq what? The fail. You're gonna return to who? Ilayhim, towards him. To who? Allah. Because Allah is coming from the previous verse that Allah is the one who causes you to die. He is the one who gives you life. And how can you disbelieve? How can you disbelieve in him when this is how he is? This is what he has done for you. Yeah. You getting the gist of the ayah here? Okay. So let's take a quick look at the tafsir. Okay, let's see if I can find it. The similarity, the wives of the people, and okay. All right, let's keep going. Okay. The meaning of loss, we looked at it last time. Yeah. Okay, so kaifa takfuruna. So how can you disbelieve in Allah, seeing that you are dead and he gave you life, then he will give you death, then he will bring you to life on the day of resurrection, and then unto him you will return. Yes. Allah testifies to the fact that he exists and that he is the creator and the sustainer who has full authority over his servants. Yeah. How can you disbelieve in Allah? How can anyone deny Allah's existence or worship other than him while you were dead and he gave you life? Meaning he brought them from the state of non-existence to life. Okay. Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, were you created by nothing, or were they themselves the creators, or did they create the heaven and the earth? Nay, but they have no firm belief. Yes. And then this is another verse here. And has there not been over man a period of time when he was not a thing worth mentioning? Yes. I mean, if you think about our origin, you know how a child is born. So there is a time when he's just not even worthy of mentioning, right? It's just a drop of dirty water. Yes.
Not mentioned yet.
Yes. And there are many other ayat on this subject. Ibne Jarir radiallahu ta'ala anhu reported that Ibn Abbas said radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Seeing that you were dead and he gave you life means you did not exist beforehand. You were nothing until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you. He will bring death to you and then bring you back to life during resurrection. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala then said, this is similar to Allah's statement. They will say, our Lord, you have made us to die twice and you have given us life twice.
Twice. Yeah.
Okay, so inshallah, so let's quickly look at this over here, and let's look at some of these words. So takfuruna. So the root words are kaf, fara, right? It's from the nasara pattern. Nasara yansuru. So takfuruna, can you disbelieve? Is a jama muzakkar, active voice, second person. Yeah. So it will, the madi will be kafara. Yakfuru is the mudare. Ukfur is the command, right? Isme fa'il will be kafir. A person who disbelieves, we call him kafir. Yes. The thing you deny is makfur. Yes. Object is isme maful will be makfur. Kufrun is the act of denying. That's the masdar. It's very cold. Making sense? Okay. So it's same thing. It is also on the pattern of taf'eel. There is remember the salasi mujarrad and salasi mujarrad mazid fi, the one where we have additional letters, and in taf'eel there is a shadda, so which creates even more stress in there. Kaffara, yukaffiru, kaffir, mukaffirun, mukaffarun, takfirun. Yes. So inshallah, some of these words you have heard or read in the Quran. So when there is a shadda, the meaning kind of gets even more stressed, or there is a shiddat in that meaning. Yeah. Emphasis. Emphasis. Yes. So this and billahi wa kuntum. Kuntum is from qala yakulu. Yes. Kana yakunu. Right. While you were. So second person active voice. Kana yakunu kun. Now what is how do we know kun? We know that Allah has the, whenever he wishes something to do, he said kun fayakun. Ho ja to wo ho jati hai, right? So kain is the person who does that, right? Kain. Makun or makunun is the ism maf'ul, and kaunun is the masdar.
Okay.
Inshallah, these kind of additional things are sort of your vocabulary building, right? And when you have this, the same thing in istif'alun, there is another pattern called istif'alun. Then it has istakana, yastakinu, istakin, mustakim, mustakinun, mustakanun, istikanan. Okay. So they have more meaning, but I'm not going into all those details. But inshallah, someday we will go over these. Let me see what else I can show you. I can show you yumitukum. Okay. So the root letters are mim, waw, ta. Okay. And it's from aslama yuslimu. Amata, yumitu, amit. Right. Mumitun, mumatun, imatahu. Imatun, imatatun, imatatun, imatatun. So these are from if'alun. Yeah. And what else? Similarly, I believe yuhyikum will be on the same pattern. Where did it go? So here. Okay. So ha, ya, ya. Okay. Yuhyikum. Same thing. Aslama, yuslimu. He will give you life. And also have another pattern. Fataha, yaftahu. But then the wording is different because of the style of the pattern. Okay. Similarly, turja'un is from raja'a. Ra, jeen, ain. Okay. Turja'un. Daraba, yadribu. you will be returned. Raja'a, yarji'u, irji. Irji mean return. Say amr. La irji or la tarji, that will be like you don't return. Raji'un is the person who returns. Marju'un, to whom you return. Yes. Ruju'un is return. Ruju, उर्दू में हम कहते हैं हमने रुजू किया किसी के साथ, so उसका मतलब होता है हमने किसी से कांटेक्ट किया, right? या हमने उनसे we met them.
Contact.
But another word you think about it, we return to them. Ruju'un. Okay. आमतौर पे when they talk about divorce, right? The husband and wife, then if they divorce each other, and until the divorce is like final, like according to the Hanafi madhab, if it's 3 times, then obviously it's the end of the marriage. But if it's 1 time, then there is a time frame where you can return to each other. Yes.
Yeah.
उसमें हम कहते हैं कि husband ने wife से रुजू कर लिया, मतलब they return to each other.
सुलह कर लिया
उन्होंने, ठीक है? So just to get you another little bit of context on that. Okay, any questions so far?
Brother Abed, on the āyāt, there was a, what they call it, the last sīrah mushabba. What is this at the end?
Okay.
I saw there's hayyo or something over there when
Yes.
we were looking on.
Now remember, some time ago when I was actually going into these categories, then I got a little pushback from most of you, and then we stopped it. So basically, when you have 3 root letters and there are different patterns, right? And remember, there was something called sarf saghir and sarf kabir, right? So from one 3 root letters, you can make up to like 100 plus words.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, and we said, okay, the minimum we're gonna learn is the madi, mudare, amr, isme fa'il, isme maf'ul, and the masdar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But isme mubalagha mean when you have more stress, exaggeration. Yeah. So if you want to use a word for exaggeration, right? For example, ar-rahim. Rahim is an exaggeration of what? Rahim or rahim. Why? Because raham mean to have mercy, right? But rahim mean continuously merciful.
Okay, this is isme mubalagha.
So it will be isme mubalagha, right? Because the Arabic language is so rich, it has so many things, and we are hardly, scratching the surface. And because of our own limitation, we are trying not to dive into these things. If we do, then we can really open up our, mind to so many other possibilities, right? So that's why you see these, and these people also not putting it in there because they are just giving you a bare minimum, right? Because I told you from these 3 root letters with all the patterns you have, like 10 different patterns, there are 10 different forms. How many forms?
Right.
10. And the very first form within itself has 6 different forms.
Oh. 60 at least then.
So 16. So what is the first form we have known by heart? The fataha, nasara, dariba, samia, karuma, was samia, right? Or one more, I think I forgot. Fariha or something like that. There were 6 babs, remember? Bab fataha, bab nasara, bab dariba, and bab samia, and there was another karuma, and one more, but I'm hasiba. I think it was hasiba.
Yeah, hasiba.
Okay, so those are the 6 bab for the 3 root letter words. But as soon as you go into, because those give you a limited set of vocabulary. When you want to expand that vocabulary, you get into the mazid fi area. Yes, and the mazid fi area will have additional 1 word, 2 words, 3, up to 4. Yeah. So istafala, it has alif, sin, ta, and there are so many other words in it, right? So inshallah, that should be a good explanation. Also, now let's look at the Urdu version of this. So we look at this. Let me see if I can make it even bigger. Okay. So kayfa takfuruna billahi wa kuntum amwatan. Tum अल्लाह का कैसे इनकार करते हो? Is happening in present continuous. हालांकि तुम मुर्दा थे तो उसने तुम्हें जिंदा किया। सुम्मा युमीतुकुम, वो तुम्हें मौत देगा। सुम्मा युहयीकुम, और वो तुम्हें जिंदा करेगा। सुम्मा इलैही तुरजाऊन, फिर उसी की तरफ तुम लौटाए जाओगे। क्या? तो उर्दू में अब आपने पढ़ लिया, it gives you another perspective on the translation. Kaifa is istafhamiya, meaning it is a question word, is an interrogative word. Yeah, it's ism is called istafhamiya. Yeah, meaning is kaise, how. Takfuruna fi'l mudari, jama muzakkar hadir. Hadir means second person. Kafara yakfuru. Masdar is kufran. Yes, कुफर करना, इनकार करना। तुम इनकार करते हो, because फेले मुदारे. So far so good?
Yeah.
Okay. Billahi harf jar and a noun Allah, Allah harf jalala. So that's jar majroor. Wa kuntum amwatan. Wow is the halia. Halia mean is like telling you while. It's basically not using as and, is as while. हालिया मीनिंग इज टेलिंग देयर कंडीशन। हालांकि उर्दू में उसको कैसे तर्जुमा करेंगे? हालांकि, हालांकि विल बी इन इंग्लिश विल बी व्हाइल। यस,
Even though.
Yeah, even though, while, you know, things like that. फेल नाकिस माजी जमा मुजक्कर. Remember I told you kana yakunu is called haruf mushabba bil fail, and they are known as haruf fe'l nakisa, and when they come with the jumla ismiya, they take over the mubtada and they call it ismu kana and खबरू कान। मैयत किसको कहते हैं उर्दू में? मुर्दा को। जब कोई इंसान मर जाता है तो हम उसको कहते हैं कि उसकी मैयत रखी हुई है या उसकी मैयत के पास। That's the मैयत। And amwatan, dead, right? And same thing, murda is the actual the name for the body, but the amwatan is dead, mean the condition of the person, that this person is dead. Fa ahyaakum is fa, there are three words in here. So fa ahyakum, that is harf ataf, and ahya is fi'l madi with the huwa as the file, and kum is the maf'ul, which is the attached pronoun. Yeah. Okay. So that's how you have. Then summa yumitukum. फिर वो यानी summa is harf ataf, is mean फिर, then. Yumitukum is the same thing. It has two words in it, yumitu and kum. So yumitu is the fi'l mudari. It has the huwa as the, not huwa. Yumitu, yes, he has huwa. Allah is the one who is gonna will cause you to die. So huwa is the file and you all is the maf'ul. Good. Okay. And then we have looked at yuhyikum, which is from yuhyikum, which is again, this is fi'l mudari and this is the maf'ul. It's a wahid muzakkar, and ahya yuhyi, and masdar is ihya'un. Zinda karna, wo zinda karega. Kum is the attached pronoun for second person plural. Okay. So any questions on this, guys? No questions. Okay. So I guess, would you like to go to the next verse or should we stop here?
Should go to the next one.
Okay.
So I think we cannot cover it.
Yeah, it will be hard to cover, but what I can do instead is probably show you something else, and it is on the same subject I've been trying to explain. Okay, so this is about fi'l madi. Remember, it's been a long time now, right? So what do you see here? Hamidun zahaba. What is the translation, Brother Kabir?
Zahaba. Oh. Went.
Hamid went. Yes.
Yeah. Hamid.
Now, is it a jumla fe'liya or jumla ismiya?
Ismiya.
Ismiya. Why?
Hamidun.
Starts with ism.
Starts with an ism. Hamidun Zahaba, right? So is Hamidun
Yeah.
is the mubtada?
Yeah.
And khabar is what?
Zahaba.
But is Zahaba a verbal sentence?
Zahaba is a verbal sentence. Yes.
He went. Yeah.
He
Yes.
went.
So in this sentence, is the file visible or it's hidden?
Hamidun Zahaba. Visible.
Visible,
Zahaba
because
is
Hamid is right there, right?
Zahaba.
So you're not gonna say Hamidun he went. You're gonna say Hamid went, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now look at the power of Arabic language. You move the file in the beginning, it becomes a nominal sentence. Look in the second sentence, Zahaba Hamidun. What is the translation, Brother Altaf?
He made Hamid to went, like
No. Zahaba mean if we have no Hamidun here, then it will be he went.
he went.
Yes, because that's what we talked about. That when there is no visible file, then we assume the Huwa is there, which is hidden in the Zahaba. Yes?
Yeah.
And that is what I was telling you earlier, that a file could be visible or could be hidden.
Mhm.
So Zahaba Hamidun mean Hamid went.
Hamid went.
Yes?
Okay.
You're not gonna say Hamid he went. You're not gonna say. You cannot use there are two possibilities of having a file. Either is hidden or visible, but you cannot have both at the same time.
Okay. So you assume that if it's there, then you don't use the hidden
Yes.
one. Okay.
That is why we say that when you see the first siga of the fail, the file may show up a little bit later in the sentence.
Right.
And if it does, then we only have two options. We have siga number 1 or we have siga number 4. 1 for male and 4 for female. But the second sentence is a verbal sentence. Why? Because it's starting with
Verb.
yeah. So you can see that a verbal sentence can be converted into a nominal sentence just by changing the position of the file. Because a file will most likely be a noun. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the next one, Brother Abrar, Fatima tu Zahabat. So what does that mean? Brother Abrar, are you still there? Brother Abrar, you're muted.
Fatima tu Zahabat.
Okay, Taj Bhai, what is Fatima tu Zahabat?
Fatima went.
Fatima went. Very good. Why? Because it's what kind of sentence it is? Is it nominal or verbal?
Verbal.
No.
It's a nominal sentence because Fatima is the starting noun, right?
Oh, I see.
Okay. And what is Zahabat?
Verbal sentence.
Went.
Verbal sentence. So remember, see, this is so when we are moving forward, in my mind, these things we have gone over so many times, they should be like become second nature to you. So how do we know the Zahaba Gardan or the table? Zahaba, Zahaba, Zahabu,
Zahabu, Zahabat,
Zahabat, Zahabata, Zahabna,
Zahabna,
Zahabta, Zahabtuma, Zahabtum,
Zahabtum,
Zahabti, Zahabtuma,
Zahabtuma,
Zahabtunna,
Zahabna, Zahabtunna,
Zahabtu, Zahabna.
Na.
Those are 14 variations, right?
Yes, yeah.
Depending on the male and female, the third person, second person, and first person. So at this point, while we are so advanced in the lecture and the subject, it's a good idea to time to go back and revisit. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, here is the tip for you. if you feel that it's been really long time when you did this, right? My class on Saturday is about this right now, okay? And we're still on Fi'l Madi. So if you feel that you wanna come and revisit or refresh your memory, so inshallah, you're more than welcome to come on Saturday. Brother Anwar, the one who conducts the IT part of the class, he always posts the meeting request and the videos on our group as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It's from 10 to 12. So you don't have to stay the whole time, but maybe you should attend the first hour or second hour, whichever works for you. There's a lot of good review, inshallah. Yeah. Okay. So what is anti zahabat? Anti zahabti. What did that mean? Brother Fawad?
She went.
She went. Yes?
Yeah.
She went or you went?
You went. Yeah, but it's female. Yeah.
You went female. But do we
Yeah.
really have to say anti?
No, I think Zahabti is fine.
Zahabti has the anti in it, right? Or anti in there, right? So
hidden, yeah.
you can write it, but you can get away with without writing it, because zahabti mean you went,
Yeah.
female. Yeah.
You went. Yeah. Female. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's do a quick 5-10 minute exercise. So Brother Javed, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, so here for you, I have a sentence.
Okay.
Okay, and it's very easy and you will get it in no time. So let's not worry about this. Okay, where is it? It's coming. Okay, what is this? Hamidun kharaja min al-fasli.
Hamid left the class.
From the classroom.
From the classroom, yeah.
Yes. So Hamidun kharaja min al-fasli. Now, yeah, min al-fasli, right?
Yeah.
Now, fasl is the classroom and min is the harf jar, correct?
Right.
So based on the ayah we just examined, if you look at this verse, it's pretty much identical to what we just did. So if you tell me, first of all, is it a verbal sentence or is it a nominal sentence?
Nominal.
Nominal. Why?
Hamid.
Hamid. So what is the Hamid then? What is the name of Hamid?
Ism.
Mubtada. Mubtada.
Mubtada. Khabar.
Okay.
Right? Because if this is the nominal sentence, right? It's gonna be Mubtada, correct? Which is subject, which is right, but we don't call it file, we're gonna call it Mubtada, yes?
Right.
Now kharaja is the
Khabar.
khabar. Yes?
Khabar.
Khabar, right? Because we are telling that Hamid left.
Yeah.
But what else are we telling about the action? We are saying from where? Min al-fasl. Yes. So Hamid is the file. Yeah. Kharaja is the action. Min al-fasli is the maf'ul, which is mutalliq, but mutalliq can be maf'ul. Agree?
Yeah.
Yes. Does that make sense, Brother Javed?
Yeah.
Okay. So the verse we just finished basically is on the same idea here. Yeah. Okay. So Brother Kabir, Fatimatu kharajat min al-fasli. What did that mean?
Fatma left the class. Or
The
exit the class.
or from the class?
From the class. Min al-fasl. From the
So
class.
why is Hamidun and then is Fatima tu? Why is not Fatima tun?
Because of a muannas or female. I mean, two.
If you say Muslimun, then there is Muslimatun. So on
Yeah,
that
Muslimat.
token, then Hamidun and Fatimatun should be okay then. What is Fatimatu?
Arabic name, that's what it is.
She. For
No, Brother
Har-
Javed is right, because it's a name of an Arabic lady, and then it's a partially flexible. Partially flexible. For example, remember Ibrahimu, Ibrahima, Ibrahima. Fatimatu, Fatimata, Fatimata. It's a partially flexible. So remember that lecture, Morab and Mabni. Remember the Morab and Mabni?
Is more.
So, but Morab has two categories, Munsarif and Ghair Munsarif. So this is from the Ghair Munsarif. Now, if I tell you in English, then it will make it easy for you. Morab mean fully flexible. Mabni mean non-flexible. In all three statuses, stay the same. Haza, haza, haza. Musa, Musa, Musa. Yeah?
Yeah.
Fully flexible. Hamidun, Hamidan, Hamidin. Fully flexible. Partially flexible is have conditions. There are some categories. So if the name of an Arabic lady, then is Fatimatu, Fatimata, Fatimata. You will not have Fatimatun, Fatimatan, Fatimatin. You never have that. Okay, so some crash review here. Okay, brother, who else is there? Brother Altaf. Let's talk about Hamidun Ghasala Manadilahu. What did that mean?
Hamid is mubtada here, ism in halate rafa. Then ghasala is fi'l mazi. Is bath or shower or ghusl, right?
Ghusl mean washed.
Washed, right? And manadilato, I don't know the manadila.
Manadilahu. Handkerchief.
Handkerchief, okay.
So Manadila is handkerchief. And who will be?
His, yeah.
Hamid washed his handkerchief.
His handkerchief.
Washed.
Yeah.
So, and now you know that Hamid is the subject, Ghasala is the verb, and Manadilahu is the
Khabar.
no, the maf'ul. What did he wash? Is his handkerchief. Now Manadilahu has another explanation. Because of the who, it shows the possession. So Manadilahu itself is mudaf, mudafun ilayh.
Yeah.
That you see the multiple concepts are coming up in front of you.
I think it's the same as we were saying before. Hamid is mubtada and ghasala is now the khabar, and manadila who could be a mutalliq khabar.
Mutalliq khabar, you're right, but it's not like that. Actually, ghasala manadilahu will be like a verbal sentence, and the verbal sentence itself will be the khabar of the Hamid. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So think about that, because a verbal sentence can be act as a khabar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, brother Taj. Hamidun dakhala fil bayt. What did that mean?
Hamid entered the house.
Entered in the house.
In
Yes.
the, yeah.
Fil bayti. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's still a verbal sentence.
Yeah.
So dakhala fil bayti will be the verbal sentence, and which will act as the khabar for Hamid, which is mubtada. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother Abrar, Hamidun la'iba ma'a siddiqihi. What did that mean?
Hamidun is like ma Siddiqi.
Brother Abrar, are you still there?
I'm here. I'm just thinking. Hamid
La'iba mean played.
played with his friend.
His friend. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you see any similarity between Hamidun ghasala manadilahu and then Hamidun la'iba ma'a siddiqihi? Okay. So what can you tell me about siddiqihi? What is the additional information you can give me?
That's his friend. So obviously that's what is it?
Truthful.
No, not truthful, brother. Taj, it's not Siddiq. It's Siddiqi meaning friend.
Friend.
So his friend. The translation is his friend. So there is a
Ma
possession.
becomes his.
Ma
becomes
is
his.
the harf jar, right? Ma means with his friend. So mudaf, mudafun ilay.
Jar majroor and mudaf alayh.
Okay. Now the next one, number 6 actually, and brother Kabir, this is, I think we all get the idea what this means, but let's see if you can explain to us. Hamidun fahima masail al-fiqhi, right? Hamid, fahima, understand. Understood. Understood. Fahima will be fi'l madi, right?
The masail of fiqh.
He understand masail fiqh, right? So masail fiqh will be mudaf, mudafun ilayh. Why is it mudafun ilayh? Which is mudaf and what is mudaf ilayh?
Mudaf is fiqh and he is.
Mudaf is fiqh. Mudaf, al-fiqh has al in it. So can mudaf has al in it?
No. So masail is mudaf and fiqh is.
Okay. Now please tell me the few rules about mudaf, mudafun ilayh. Is the mudaf come first or second?
Mudaf comes first.
Added and necessitated.
So what are the two rules of mudaf?
Mudaf cannot be proper noun. Proper noun. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, I have in my mind the three rules we discussed.
Yeah.
But
No tanween and no al.
No tanween and no al, mudaf, right?
Yeah.
And what is the one rule about mudafun ilayh?
Place noun and mudaf ilayh.
Halat jar.
Halat jar. So masail al-fiqhi is the fiqhi is the mudaf ilayh. It can have al. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, my request to all of us that, recognizing things is okay. Yes, you can recognize things, but at this point, and after such a long time, I think we should put a little bit effort to keep things in the right memory, right? So that we can always, these things should become second nature by now, because since we started the analysis of the verses, this thing comes in every single time. Yes or no? How many times we say mudaf, mudaf ilayh, jar, jar majroor? Why do we say those things? Because we say it because we understand them now.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, one more. And I know I haven't asked Brother Fawad. Brother Fawad, let's look at this. Hamidun fataha nawafiz al-ghurfati. Are you there, Brother Fawad?
Hamid fataha.
Looks like he stepped away. Okay, so who wants to do this? Brother Kabir, would you like to do this?
Yeah. So it's a jumla ismiya with starting with ham. Fataha is Hamidun is mubtada and fataha open nafatul ghurfa.
Nawafiz is the windows.
Windows.
And ghurfa is the room.
Room. So it's again mudaf.
Hamid opened. Yeah, mudaf ilayh, right?
Yeah.
What he did, he opened the windows of the room.
Of the room.
Yeah. Okay. And I think the last question is for Brother Abrar, and this will come to him naturally. Hamidun hafiza suratul Rahman.
Hamid memorized the Surah Rahman.
MashaAllah. So what is Suratul Rahman?
Surah Rahman.
Yeah, but I understand that. Will you explain to me Suratul Rahman? Is there a possession in there?
Yeah, mudaf.
Yes.
So is it mudafun ilayh, right?
Yeah.
So who's mudaf here?
Rahman.
Rahman is mudaf?
Oh, Hamid is it?
No, surah.
Hamid is mudaf. Okay, guys, let him play, because I want him to use his brain. If we help him out, then he will never learn. I want him to know. We just talked about Masail al-Fiqh. So were you listening whenever you were discussing that?
Why do you want him to use?
What is it again?
When we were discussing the Masail al-Fiqh, remember we went over this whole concept. Were you listening at that time?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, so Surah Al-Rahman is no different than Masail al-Fiqh.
Okay.
So what is Surah? You said it's mudaf, mudafun ilayh, right? So what is Surah?
It's individual surah.
So Surah is mudaf, right?
Yeah.
So but you need to clarify this right now with me, that when you say mudaf, mudafun ilayh, you need to say that knowingly, not just because you recognize mudaf, mudafun ilayh. Mudaf will always come first, and mudafun ilayh will always follow it afterwards.
Yeah.
So Ar-Rahman is mudafun ilayh, because we're talking about the Surah of Rahman. That is the meaning of Surah Al-Rahman. So what is the rule of mudaf? There are two rules for mudaf. We just went over it. If you can tell me one or two rules of mudaf.
I might have been sleeping there.
So mudaf cannot have al on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you writing it down now?
Yeah.
Okay. And it cannot have tanween.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So next time if I ask you that what is mudaf or what is the rule of mudaf, you're going to tell me two things. You're going to say it does not, it could not have al, and it could not have okay. But then Ar-Rahmani, why is Rahmani in Kasra? Why is that?
That's a good
Because
question.
it's mudafun ilayh, right? Because when you
okay.
say Surah Al-Rahman is mudafun ilayh, these are two components, and the mudafun ilayh is in the status of jar, because that is the rule of mudafun ilayh, that mudafun ilayh will always be in the status of jar.
Got it.
Okay, Jazakallahu khairan. So with this exercise, I did not mean to hurt your feelings or anybody's trying to
Not at all.
down.
Okay.
All I'm saying to you that we spend a quality time of our life into learning something important, right? Because we are trying to learn the language of the Quran. So if we're just gonna sit and look at it and recognize things, that will never get us to the next level. Yes. So let's do I mean, this time is valuable. This time is money. We could be sleeping at this time. We could be spending this time with our family. So this time has a lot of value. So if we just look at things for the sake of looking, we're never going to get to the point which we want to accomplish. Yeah. Am I out of line here?
No, you are online.
So please, let's do the thing the right way. First of all, once in a while, look at this material on your own time. You have all the books, you have all the little material, write it down. Also go over it sometime. Try to understand what we are talking about. And if I'm repeating it like 10 different times, that means it must be important. Yeah. Okay, inshallah. So this list, I'm going to send this document right now to you. Read these sentences, and most of you will get the meaning without even, looking at any other thing. Most of you will be able to I mean, I'm itching to do this one, but right now we have above 7 minutes. So Hamidun Fariha binatijatil imtihani. It's look like somebody's telling me in Urdu that Hamid is happy about the result of the imtihan, of the exam. Yeah? Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, Jazakallahu khairan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.